4 News now at 6. A new program to help teens cope with their emotions. How the program works and what types of resources are available.
Another hot day in the inland Northwest, and it is only going to get hotter tomorrow. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get and how long it's going to last in your First Alert forecast.
Plus, how did finding an affordable home become so difficult in our area? What factors cause the housing crisis in the inland Northwest? And what's being done to try and lower housing costs? You're watching 4 News now at 6.
Well, talking about mental health can be difficult for teenagers.
Providence partnered with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center to create a program that helps local teens cope with their feelings. Our Marissa Rio visited the center and got to see what the program is all about. Marissa.
Not only can it be difficult for teenagers to talk about mental health, but services like therapy are not accessible to everyone. The Behavioral Health Outreach Program makes it so that it is.
So when I say mental health, what does that mean to you?
A difficult question for adults, but these are teenagers.
And taking care of mental health helps us to deal with challenges that come up from day to day.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Center creates a safe space for these kids. Here, they feel comfortable enough to talk about tough feelings like anger or stress.
I think when you have kiddos working in an environment that they're already familiar with, it just kind of eases the idea of talking about emotions, especially with, you know, like that preteen or early teenage age. It's not always easy to be vulnerable and to open up.
Every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the kids have access to these therapists for free, and they have fun while being there together. One 16-year-old said she enjoys learning about all the different types of kids that are there.
I also learned like different cultures that people have, because I have my culture, and then other people got their culture, so it's kind of like we gotta like stick together with it.
Oh, it's this game.
It's Crackle. Oh yeah, okay.
And this program isn't just a lecture where kids just sit around and learn. They have activities to do. They're engaging with one another, and they get to be active.
And they love hands-on activities, so that helps a lot, you know, because the topic of good mental health can be boring if you're just sitting there, but it's a combination of hands-on activities and information that they're receiving. So yeah, it works.
About 25 kids are involved in the program, and the center's executive director said they keep coming back, so it must be working. Programs like these really work to address the lack of access some families have to mental health services. For more information, you can go to our website at kxly.com. Reporting in studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Marissa, thank you. Well, if you thought it was hot today, we have good news for you. It's only going to get hotter.
You thought it was hot, doesn't mean you didn't like it.
It doesn't mean you didn't like it.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center to see just how hot we're going to get.
Now, it is important to acknowledge that a lot of people do love the hot weather, and we have even hotter weather on the way for tomorrow. 90 degrees right now in Spokane. We're in the mid-90s in Omak, Grand Coulee, Moses Lake, and Ritzville. 97 in Lewiston. We are going to be warmer tomorrow, and we may also be a little bit hazy. Here's a live look right now over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena with absolutely clear skies, but we are tracking some wildfire smoke coming in from the northeast, and that may settle down around the surface tomorrow morning. Shouldn't have much of an impact on our air quality, but may give that unpleasant tint to the sky that usually makes me a little nervous when I see a smoky sunrise, but it won't be around for long. We'll be clearing out as the day goes on. Our high temperature of 97 compares to an average high of 86. I'll be back to let you know how long this heat wave is going to last in your 7-day forecast. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Lawyers for University of Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger have asked for more information, specifically on the genealogical analysis used to zero in on Kohberger as a suspect, even suggesting DNA could have been planted on the scene. The request has already postponed the trial, which had been set to start on October 2nd. In court filings Monday, the Latah County prosecutor says none of the defense's arguments hold water as reasons to share the additional information.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office is asking the community to help identify 2 men who are wanted for burglary. Here are the images of them captured from surveillance footage just after midnight last Thursday, July 13th. The men broke a glass door at the Pheasant Run store in the town of Warden. After appearing to take things from the store, they left the area in a vehicle, which is shown there on the right side. That appears to be a silver or gray Dodge or maybe a Ram 4-door pickup. If you see them or if you know who they are, call the Multi-Agency Communications Center. The number is there on your screen. State of Idaho rested its case against 5 members of the Patriot Front. If you remember, 31 members were arrested last year during a Coeur d'Alene Pride event.
Each of the men face a misdemeanor charge of criminal conspiracy, and our Natalie Grant was in the courtroom today.
It was a long day of the state calling witnesses to the stand in the trial against the 5 men charged with criminal conspiracy following that 2022 event. In total today, 9 law enforcement officials from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office and the Coeur d'Alene Police Department were called to the stand, all of which played some type of a role in that initial response or the investigation that followed afterwards. Now, while I was present in the courtroom today, any audio or video recordings were not allowed. The law enforcement officials that took the stand spoke to a wide range of topics, from the role they played in the initial response and the detainment of those individuals located in the U-Haul to the investigation that followed. Several touched on the tense environment that was felt throughout the city that day due to conflicting events that were taking place in city parks, including the Pride Festival. Law enforcement said they were not aware that members of the Patriot Front were in town at the time, and when the U-Haul was pulled over, officers did not know who the group was or what their intent was. But based on factors like the number of people inside that U-Haul, the possession of defensive items like shields, and where the U-Haul was driving towards, they were able to come to the assumption that they intended to cause a disruption. Now, throughout the day, the defense argued that the officers had no knowledge if the group was going to cause a disturbance and therefore should not have been arrested in the first place. The defense did motion to have all charges dismissed in this case, but the judge denied it, citing what he called sufficient evidence for a conviction. Now, today, the state did rest their case, and tomorrow it'll be the defense's turn to present theirs and potentially closing arguments. We'll keep you up to date on anything that transpires, both on air and online at KXLY.com. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene today, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Still ahead, Washington lawmakers are betting multifamily housing will help lower housing costs, how it's supposed to help, and if families even want to live in them. Coming up tonight at 6:30 plus.
The battle for Chick-fil-A on South Hill between neighbors and the company continues tonight. The question is, what's going to happen to this site? We'll tell you the latest on this development. That's coming up.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
America, it's the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need. Lock in great rates and get $1,000 trade assist cash on a 22 Escape or 23 Bronco Sport, only at your local Ford dealer.
Are you ready to unleash the power of productivity? Get ready for the ultimate workhorse, the Kubota BX Series tractors at Adams Tractor. With a powerful engine, versatile attachments, and compact size, these tractors can tackle any job with ease. For a limited time, Adams Tractor is offering a special deal, 0 down, 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Visit Adams Tractor today and unleash the power of the Kubota BX Series tractors. We have loads of tractors in stock. Get yours now.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
This week on Svengoolie.
It's coming from downstairs.
Well, invite him upstairs.
Are you trying to tell us the house is haunted?
Oh, I get it. It's the uninvited on the next Svengoolie.
Saturday night at 8 on MeTV 4.2.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a heat pump with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free heat pump from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. Lease a well-equipped 2023 F-150 for just $399 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
The honeymoon that almost wasn't. Saved. Next, Inside Edition. This newlywed forgot her passport.
I had like a full cold sweat moment.
How the flight attendants saved the day.
We owe you a debt that cannot be repaid.
Then, the Barbie law firm.
Barbie Lawyers!
They all wear pink.
Beauty, brains, and a sparkle of pink.
Yeah. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Discussions are still in the works to build the Chick-fil-A in what is now an empty parking lot on Spokane South Hill. While no dirt has moved on the project, people in the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council stand firmly in opposition to that future development.
Tonight, the realtor says he will continue to move forward with the plan for the possible development at 29th and Regal. That's where 4 News Now's Peter Choi is live tonight with what could happen next. Peter.
Yeah. I spoke to the realtor Chris Bell today, whose client wants to build Chick-fil-A at this empty parking lot right behind me. And he tells me the plan is not dead yet. And I heard comments from both sides from the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council meeting last night. And the builder says he wants to create more jobs in this area, while neighbors say the heavy traffic is still a major headache. Now, it was a heated discussion at the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council meeting on Tuesday night. Real estate managing broker Chris Bell argued it's the perfect place to build a fast food restaurant, while some neighbors say there's no need to create more jobs in the area.
Every single fast food place is now hiring. Like, I don't think we necessarily need any more Chick-fil-A jobs.
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
So how dare you say that somebody else didn't deserve one?
I'm just saying there's so many jobs right now.
And the neighbors were also venting their concerns, saying it will add more cars to an area there is already heavily traffic, impacting air quality. The city denied the original request because it didn't fit parking and drive-through requirements in the area. The Bell says his client will continue to work with Chick-fil-A to find a site plan that is acceptable to the city of Spokane and the neighborhood council. Now, he says he will meet with the city planning department to review the site plan. The city says the neighborhood council has no decision-making authority. However, they will consider comments from the council for further process. Now, as of this moment, there's no decision yet on whether the Chick-fil-A will be built on this parking spot, but we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Live in Spokane tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Peter, thank you. 15 people have died on Idaho roads in the last 10 days, bringing the total number of road fatalities this year to 121 in Idaho. 39% of those crashes involve some form of aggressive driving behavior. That's according to the Idaho Transportation Department. That includes things like speeding, tailgating, and weaving in and out of traffic. That's why Idaho State Police will be cracking down on aggressive driving in Idaho until the end of the month, in the hope that this will cut down the number of crashes on the road.
Well, the Spokane Fire Department will soon relocate its paramedics for non-life-threatening emergencies throughout the city.
Staffing shortages are stretching those paramedics thin, causing them to work up to 1,000 hours of overtime a year. Bronte Sorotsky shares how these changes will hopefully lighten the load for these first responders.
Paramedics here in Spokane often work 48, even 72-hour shifts. Something they say isn't sustainable.
We've started doing what's called mandatories, where if they don't have enough people available to work overtime, they'll actually hold you over when you think your shift's going to end.
Spokane is dealing with a paramedic shortage. There isn't enough staffing to keep a paramedic at every fire station. It's why our local paramedics are working so much overtime just to keep up.
3 or 4 years ago, overtime was almost unheard of. We were scrambling for it. You'd be lucky to get one shift a year, and now there's people that are 500 to 1,000 hours of overtime in a year.
Paramedics say they're working up to 20 calls a day. That's why soon the Spokane Fire Department will start to relocate some units for non-life-threatening injuries, not slowing down services, but spreading them throughout the community to keep up with paramedics lost due to retirement and lightening the load on others. And the department says these changes should be coming by October. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We've got clear skies tonight, little bit of wildfire haze moving in overnight. It is going to get hotter. We'll be in the 90s through Sunday with no sign of rain in the forecast. There is some wind to talk about, though. That's coming up after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
26 years strong.
Summer days by the pool make for some of the best memories, but not every child gets the chance to swim in the sun.
This July, with help from Numerica Credit Union and the Spokane Parks Foundation, kids swim free on Fridays at City of Spokane Valley pools.
Numerica Credit Union is excited to offer free swim Fridays with the Spokane Parks Foundation as they enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
What's good about River Ridge Hardware and how we stand out as a neighborhood hardware store? When a customer comes in, it's our opportunity to help them with whatever project they're doing, whether it's painting or building something new. We truly want to help you. What makes Peter's Hardware Store stand out in the neighborhood is it is eclectic type hardware store since 1934. And yes, we're the oldest working hardware store in Spokane. It's really a fun place to visit.
Set summer in motion with the most fun to drive Honda vehicles yet. Like the Civic, the vehicle car and driver called more fun to drive than the competition. And the HR-V with sleek exterior styling and smooth responsive handling. This summer, chase fun in the sun with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's the biggest anniversary sale in the history of Walkers as they celebrate the opening of their first store in 1980 with the largest store-wide discounts ever offered, where you can get wall-to-wall savings for every room in your home, anywhere from 19 to 80% off, or take advantage of special 5 years no-interest financing.
This is the one sale our customers wait all year for.
And your chance to save like never before, including accessories and decor.
This week at Walkers.
We've had a couple of pretty good nights of sleep with clear skies, temperatures dropping into the 40s and 50s. We're going to start to see those overnight lows ramping up. 63 for an overnight low tonight with mostly clear skies. That little bit of a northeasterly flow bringing in some wildfire smoke, but again, may just create some haze on the horizon. I don't think it's going to have much impact on our air quality. Hot and sunny tomorrow, 97 degrees. We've hit 97 twice. That's as warm as it's been so far this summer. Here's a look at our weather pattern overall. We have a ridge of high pressure that's going to build for the next couple of days, helping to bring up some of that heat from the desert Southwest that's been making headlines. Then we have this player in our weather pattern. Blue, indicating some cool air. Now that is not headed directly our way, but is headed to the north. What it is going to do is flatten the ridge and create some winds for the weekend. Temperatures will drop a little bit, still staying in the 90s, but the bad news is those winds may become an issue in terms of our fire danger for the weekend. So we'll be watching closely as that cooler air makes its way our direction, dropping our temperatures a little bit, but also in bringing those winds into the equation in terms of fire levels. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 50s and 60s, nowhere near as cool as it has been. Thursday's highs in the 90s and triple digits, including 101 in Omak, Wenatchee, Moses Lake, and Grand Coulee, 107 degrees in Lewiston. Your 7-day forecast, we're going to stay at 97 for Friday. There's that little bit of a cool down for the weekend, even cooler next week. Temperatures back down around average, but those winds picking up with very dry conditions through the 7-day forecast. Wildlife Wednesday time, I have some great photos to share with you. Starting off with this one from Courtney Litwin. This otter has got the right idea about staying cool. What a beautiful photo. He was taking a dip at Turnbull National Wildlife Refuge. Thank you, Courtney. What a beautiful mule deer buck from Mary Wilbur. Does like to eat the roses, as deer are prone to do, but hard to get mad at that sweet face. And the antlers in velvet, wow, beautiful. And look real close at this little darling through the lens of Dora Z. Davis, a female calliope hummingbird on the zinnia, and their feet are so cute. Actually, everything about hummingbirds is so cute. I'll have more photos tonight at 11. Aaron?
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Chris. As more Americans crank up the AC, it's projected that home energy costs will increase this summer. Some estimates expect costs to jump nearly 12%. A climate economist says when the temperatures get this high, the bottom line is always going to be impacted.
Productivity through the economy goes down, especially when we hit certain thresholds.
The primary concern remains on health and safety. Dozens of deaths this year are being investigated as potentially heat-related. In Arizona, where a new record was just set for most days at or above 110 degrees.
Well, what's better than grilling a hot dog on a nice summer day? I guess having one on National Hot Dog Day.
Seems about right. Today, local Spokane businesses celebrated the unofficial holiday with discounts on one of America's favorite foods. Spokane dogs were $1 off at the famous hot dog cart in downtown Spokane. The master chef behind the cart said everyone loves a hot dog. He's right. People lined up to take advantage of the deal. The man was cooking, loving every minute of it.
It's a day of recognition for what I do, 6 months a year. It's a special day. People recognize it, what I do.
National Hot Dog Day is not over yet. Still some time to fill up on the famous American food.
I need to get one of those hats. That man is my new hero. Well, this summer, you can get creative with art classes in Riverfront Park. Art in the Park classes meant to be fun and fit for all skill sets. Robin Smith is one of the Art in the Park instructors, and she encourages fun art over fine art.
It's a step-by-step process. It's how I conduct all my paint and sip classes, and we just walk you through, and in an hour and a half, you'll have your painting done.
You can register for Art in the Park by going to riverfrontspokane.com. Classes are $25 and supplies are included. Each of Robin's sessions take place at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Well, today marks 1 week since a section of Freya Street has closed because they were starting to repair water main breaks, several of them, and the road on top of those pipes as well. The city of Spokane saying work will definitely continue this week at 13th and Freya. Drivers have had to detour around the area since last Wednesday. The city had planned to replace the old pipes in the near future, but was forced to move up the project when the water main break created a sinkhole.
Pac-12 is still searching for a new media rights partner. How soon the deal will get done and how it impacts the way you watch games. Coming up in sports. And before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
What's in a name? A question that has never had more relevance. First American Title has been rebranded to Flying S Title and Escrow. Since 1905, we've been helping people protect their property rights. When the time comes to choose a title insurance and escrow company, the choice is clear: Flying S Title and Escrow. Idaho's longest operating, family-owned title and escrow company is now Flying S Title and Escrow. We're not new, but our name is.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
In 1980, Walker's Furniture opened their first store. So this week, they're celebrating their 43rd anniversary with store-wide markdowns of 19 to 80% off. Where every dining room set, every bedroom set, every sofa, love seat, and sectional is 19 to 80% off. Or take advantage of no money down, no minimum purchase, no interest financing for 5 years. So you can get that new Purple or Beauty Rest mattress set today and pay for it later during the anniversary sale at Walker's.
As state senator, Lisa Brown increased taxes by $2 billion while raising her own pay. Under her watch, homelessness rose by 25,000. Now she's backed by the Defund the Police crowd. Lisa's soft on crime, hard on taxpayers.
I pledge to increase police presence and tackle homelessness, and we have. Our Violent Crimes Task Force has lowered crime rates, and we're compassionately addressing homelessness. We're exceptional, Spokane. I'll keep it that way. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message.
Do you have property damage? Burke's Restoration provides full-service emergency response for residential and commercial disasters. Wind damage? Burke's can handle that. Is flooding your problem? Burke's Restoration knows just what to do. Fire or smoke damage? Call Burke's today. You didn't plan on a disaster, but you have a choice on who restores it. Choose the best. Burke's Restoration takes care of fire, smoke, wind, or water damage and more. Tell your insurance company you choose Burke's Restoration. Call or click today. 4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Well, coming to a TV screen near you, not the Pac-12, apparently. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. According to multiple reports, the Pac-12 will not be announcing its new media rights deal during its annual conference media day on Friday. No deal, they say. Reports say the conference expects to release details of its new media rights deal in the near future, and it will likely include a mix of streaming and non-streaming TV options. The Pac-12 has been looking for a new media rights partner for the past year. The current media rights contract ends in 2024, the same year in which USC and UCLA are leaving the conference to join the Big Ten, a move that has made the search for a new media rights partner that much more difficult. Now, reports also say the Pac-12 will not add any teams until a new media rights deal is complete. Eastern Washington football is set to open fall camp on August 3rd. The Eagles are coming off a disappointing season in which they only won 3 games and suffered 8 losses. The good news for Eastern is they returned 7 starters on offense and 5 on defense. And we will hear from the Eagles during Big Sky Media Day on Monday. The Seattle Kraken roster could see some changes this offseason. One area the team is keeping the same intact is at their head coach. Kraken head coach Dave Hakstol has been given a contract extension through the 2025-26 season. Hakstol was a Coach of the Year finalist last year. He also led Seattle to its first playoff appearance in franchise history and a 19-win improvement from the previous year. The Kraken opened the season on October 10th on the road against the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. And speaking of the Golden Knights, Spokane Chiefs player Ty Shiveldayoff, participated in the Vegas Golden Knights developmental camp. Fellow Spokane Chief Sage Weinstein competed at the Colorado Avalanche developmental camp. Now, it was a chance for both players to showcase their skills for a potential roster spot down the line, and both guys say it was surreal to learn from these championship organizations.
Just picking things up from everyone, what it takes to be a pro and what it takes to obviously be a championship team, and everyone needs to buy in.
The staff and even going down to the equipment management and all that stuff, the strength conditionings, it was just unreal, just very first class, I think. And it was almost kind of like, wow, like almost made me love hockey even more.
Now, both players will be returning to the Chiefs next season since they both went undrafted, and the Chiefs open the season on September 22nd. That'll wrap us up for sports. Julian, thank you. Next on 4 News Now at 6:30. The dream of owning a home in the Inland Northwest is slipping away for many as housing costs continue to rise.
While others are struggling to keep a roof over their heads, the factors causing the Inland Northwest housing crisis and the different approach some are taking to making living here more affordable. Next on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
Hit the open roads this summer with Click It RV Superstore in Spokane during the Great American Sales Event. The best brands, Riverstone, Venture RV, Winnebago, and more. Over 1,000 RVs. Payments as low as $240 per month. Only $240 down. 0 payments until 2024. Up to $4,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Plus, get a Traeger grill and Yeti cooler with purchase during the Great American Sales Event. Now at the Click It RV Superstore in Spokane. 1 mile past the Y on North Newport Highway. Hurry in today.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
My parents started their first dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and work hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Subaru dealerships, and we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Because we're looking forward to being your local family Subaru dealer for generations to come.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
Next ET, our slam dunk interviews with the star-studded cast of Winning Time.
It's like the craziest story.
Behind the scenes, Hoop Scoop.
That is what I'm talking about.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. 4 News Now anchor team, not just in the newsroom, but in the community. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
To where you feel safe, where you plan your future, raise your children, and return when life gets rough. Nothing beats the feeling of home, a feeling a lot of people are searching for across the inland Northwest.
For half of the population that owns a house today, there is no housing crisis.
For the other half, things seem to keep getting worse. Thanks for joining us for this special 30-minute edition of Inland Northwest Housing Crisis. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. And we're going to take a deep dive into how we got into this position and what's being done to change the way we approach affordable housing. In this half-hour special, the Inland Northwest Housing Crisis.
We know what goes into building a home: wood, stone, metal, plastic. And somewhere along the way, it becomes a home. A base to launch adventures, recharge the batteries, a place to be vulnerable, and for many, a money pit.
We need to fix that because it's a serious problem in the community.
Jim Frank grew up in Spokane. He's been building in the area 40 years. You've probably heard of Kendall Yards. He founded the company that built it.
The housing crisis we have today is probably 50 years in the making.
Frank says there's a lot of things contributing to the crisis, like a well-intentioned condo law in 2009 that had the unintentional side effect of ending that type of construction. Typically a less expensive form of housing that people use as a stepping stone to build equity. Or the Growth Management Act in Washington. Its goal was to route housing to empty spaces in the city, but it didn't change the regulations to make building practical, which is why most new construction is outside city limits.
Kootenai County today accounts for more than 50% of the new housing starts.
From about 1990 to 2012, home prices went up. Declining interest rates offset those increases. Now you have home prices going up and interest rates going up as well, pricing people out of the housing market. And then, of course, you have the pandemic. Your favorite place to visit now became the ideal location to work remotely.
Areas where people have discovered the quality of life that we have here, how wonderful it is to live here.
The housing crunch turned into a housing crisis.
It's not just a housing crisis, it's a housing emergency.
Michelle Girardo is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity Spokane, a nonprofit that builds decent, affordable homes.
If you're paying more than 30% of your income towards housing, you are essentially living in an unaffordable condition.
She says Habitat serves families in the 80% of median income range. Now she's seeing families in the 120% range apply for housing.
These are desperate times because we're seeing the bottom of the middle class fall out in our community.
And we will hear from both Frank and Gerardo later in the show and talk about ways how to get out of this housing crisis and also how long it could take.
Now that we know what affordable housing is, let's take a look at how many in our area are overpaying for housing. According to a report from Challenge Seattle, 31.3% of households are housing burdened, is what they call it, in Spokane County. Rates are even higher in Whitman County, with close to 40% of households overpaying for housing.
1 million, that's how many new homes in Washington, the Department of Commerce says, the state will need in the next 20 years to keep up with population growth. Lawmakers believe multifamily housing is the key to achieving that goal. That includes duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. This year, lawmakers in Olympia approved multiple bills to incentivize developers to build these types of units, as well as requiring cities to rezone neighborhoods that were traditionally zoned for single-family homes. This allows for more higher density of people to live in the same building and opens up another avenue for home ownership. The question is, once they are built, will families want to live in them? The idea is that a family could pay for a duplex and rent out the other side. That rent pays the mortgage. The owner can save up money and eventually have enough to purchase a single-family home, all while accruing equity. Tom Hormel with the Spokane Realtors Association says this could be a cost-effective path to home ownership.
Yeah, I've sold homes to people that were going to live in one side of a duplex and rent the other side, and they've done very well with it. As a matter of fact, you know, some of them, I believe, probably are paying the entire mortgage if they haven't refinanced.
Because of the limited inventory across every facet of the housing market, the cost to purchase a duplex is comparable to a single-family house. On Zillow, we searched for a 2-bed, 2-bath duplex at a maximum price of $350,000. Only 9 options were available in Spokane.
And while there are many similarities between North Idaho and Eastern Washington, each have very different issues behind their housing crisis. Many blame the number of people moving to places like Coeur d'Alene for the rise in housing costs. Our Natalie Grant explains what's actually driving up rates and how that's pushing more and more families out of the housing market.
I've had friends that have already left the area for various reasons. They couldn't find housing. They were outpriced. They couldn't live here anymore because they couldn't afford to live here.
The Bjorkmans have called Coeur d'Alene home for many years. It's a place where they want to raise their 4 kids, but the current housing market could hinder those plans.
Everything has at least doubled in price. We really wanted to buy land, and the cost of land here has skyrocketed.
High interest rates made it hard to sell their home, but it's also hurting them on the search for a new one.
And what we could afford 2 years ago can't afford now because of those interest rates. So now we're in the position that we need to find a rental.
And with that route turning up dry as well, the Bjorkmans are feeling stuck and forced to consider a larger move to a different area.
We're living in limbo right now, and it's very uncomfortable.
Countless others are in this same boat. Lindsay Allen has been working in the real estate space in northern Idaho since 2008 and has seen the market shift firsthand since the pandemic.
We saw a massive influx of visitors. We saw a huge influx of people wanting to move here. We've definitely seen that taper off. However, that still puts us that much further behind on housing inventory.
While Allen says the housing crisis in northern Idaho is multifaceted, it all comes back to high mortgage rates and in turn low resale inventory.
The 30-year fixed rate mortgage rate is 7.29%, which is really high compared to where we were 2 years ago. They don't want to move. They don't want to give up their rate. And so we're not putting resale properties into the market. So we have major inventory issues, and the affordability, when rates go up, purchase power goes down.
Right now in Kootenai County, the average price of a home is more than $500,000. And according to Allen, the average buyer isn't making a salary that supports that. But new builds like these could be one answer to the growing problem.
Look at new construction. There's a lot of inventory out there, and it's new. You're not inheriting anyone else's problems, and and it's the most affordable product on the market right now.
Allen says leaders in Kootenai County are working to address the problem by looking into new housing projects and new programs to save buyers money, knowing that if things don't change and those rates don't come down, it could force more and more middle-class people who play large roles in the community out.
You know, if you just looked at everything on paper, you could probably say, you know, we're creating a whole new generation of perpetual renters.
Reporting in Kootenai County, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
With housing costs on the rise in big cities like Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, many are moving to smaller cities like Rathdrum and Post Falls.
Find out if these cities are prepared for the influx of families and why some longtime residents are very concerned. Plus, how local organizations are helping taking matters into their own hands to deal with the housing inequity.
Download the 4 News Now app today. 4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
This could be you. Just chilling, staying cool this summer. Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at Missisquoi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games to earn your entries to win a share of $13,000 cool cash, paddle boards, kayaks, and air conditioners. Missisquoi Casino Hotel, keeping it cool. Drawings start at 5 p.m. Saturday, July 29th. Learn more at Missisquoi.com.
At your locally owned Ace Hardware, we've got everything you need to keep your grass green and your gardens blooming all season long. With top brands like Ego and Steel, you'll be able to blow those leaves and trim those weeds like a pro. We've got a wide selection of lawn and garden accessories, and our friendly experts will help you find exactly what you're looking for to keep your lawn and garden in top condition. So come see us at Ace with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move with a new location opening soon, giving you more reasons to join now and be the best you can be in 2023. Move Fitness.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Things are so awesome since my family got a rewards-earning Kasasa checking account from Canopy Credit Union. We have a cashback account that pays us back 4% on up to $300 worth of debit card purchases. That's up to $12 deposited into our account every month. You know what that means? More toys, more playtime, more fun. Woohoo! Canopy is putting treats back in the budget. Learn more at canopycu.com. Limits and conditions apply.
I love it when it's summertime.
Thursday, school's out for summer, but these juniors and seniors are still testing their knowledge.
In the old days, skipping school was called playing blank.
Hopscotch?
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer.
We're going to take a quick break from our Northwest housing crisis special to talk about the weather. 4 things to know. Clear skies tonight. It is going to get hotter tomorrow. We're going to stay in the 90s through Sunday. Some locations in the triple digits, and there is no sign of rain. Our high temperatures tomorrow will be in the 90s and triple digits for some locations. 97 in Spokane, 107 in Lewiston. Right around the Spokane area, 100 degrees in downtown and 100 at 9 Mile. Here's a look at your day planner for Thursday. 86 is our average high. We're heading up to 97. Potential for some wildfire haze in the morning. Air quality should be in good shape, however. Sunshine for Friday and high of 97. Then we have the chance of some gusty winds this weekend. The combination of very dry conditions, temperatures in the 90s, and gusty winds could make critical fire weather conditions.
With such high housing costs in larger cities like Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, a lot of home buyers are choosing smaller cities like Rathdrum and Post Falls as a second option.
And the growth in Post Falls over the past 10 years was rapid. The population has nearly doubled. 4 News Now's Peter Choi spoke to people who live in those smaller cities to hear if they're prepared for future developments.
I mean, a little cheaper, which still makes a difference, compared to other communities. Yeah.
William Cano has lived in Coeur d'Alene for years, but increased housing costs forced him out.
Oh yeah, well, we were looking for a house, but yeah, in that area, it's more expensive.
Cano eventually found a home in Raftrom, a city that one local real estate agent says is growing.
The community in the past 10 years has just about doubled in size.
Growth that Cano has seen firsthand as a painter for a local home development company.
They're coming up with a few more communities, which is, I mean, it's...
You like it?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, definitely we can't ask for any more.
However, not everyone is in favor of the growth. The Raftrom city planner says locals want to keep the city small.
They denied an annexation of an 11-acre industrial parcel last week, and the stated reasons were it's not the time for growth, among others. It's just not good. The infrastructure isn't available. We don't feel like it's in the best needs of the city.
With more people moving in, that means more drivers on the road. Living in Post Falls for decades, Richard Schaefer says he's stressed about heavier traffic across the city.
We never had a rush hour before. Now there is a rush hour.
Overcrowding that both cities are already trying to solve.
Roundabouts are being built, roads are being widened, bike lanes are being added.
To fund these projects, the city of Post Falls is collecting so-called impact fees.
You don't want to overbuild, but we don't want to underbuild either. So we're preparing, we're planning, we're trying to get the right timing on it. Is always it's always difficult, but we're making those steps in the right direction.
In Kootenai County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, the price of renting a home in Idaho is on the rise as well. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, a person making minimum wage, which is $7.25, would need to work 95 hours a week just to be able to afford a modest one-bedroom rental home. That's a fair market rate, which is $896 a month.
With such high rent prices, some have turned to the federal government for assistance, also known as Section 8. The problem, it could take years to get into federal housing. Our Vanessa Perez introduces us to one woman who was able to turn her life around thanks to these kinds of programs.
From her desk as a CEO, you probably can tell Verla Spencer used to live in poverty. Raising 7 kids on her own made her journey that much harder. With the help of a housing voucher, the trajectory in her life changed.
It was a saving grace for me.
The voucher meant her family was guaranteed a roof over their heads, but it took 3.5 years to receive assistance.
I held on to hope, and so I would apply to some of the tax credit properties to see if I could get in there. There is a waiting list that was a mile long for everybody, every program that I tried to apply for.
Spencer eventually got to the point where she became self-sufficient and decided to pass the torch. A scary moment as she let go of the safety net she knew for years.
Once I let the voucher go, it went uphill for me. And so did I have challenges along the way? Absolutely. But once I got through those challenges, I will say now I am a homeowner. But everybody has to start somewhere.
Spencer's story is all too common. People are waiting years to receive a voucher. The Spokane Housing Authority provides rental assistance to thousands of households a month.
The reality is that incomes are not keeping pace with the amount of the cost of living.
Only about 1 in 4 people who qualify for a voucher will ever actually receive one. The last time the waiting list opened was in 2016. In 4 days, the Spokane Housing Authority received 5,000 applications. To this day, it's still working its way through. About 120 people are left on the list. PAR expects the waiting list to reopen between October and December of this year.
Housing is the foundation on which they're able to do all of the other things in their life that are important. It's really hard to go to work if you don't have a place to live. It's really hard to take care of your medical if you don't have a place to live. It's hard to get your kids to school if you don't have a place to live.
In North Idaho, 1,700 people are currently on the waiting list. The wait time is about 17 months.
We, do recognize there's a very, difficult challenge for low-income renters out there right now, and we're happy to be able to provide the support and resources that we do have available to us.
Ellis says people who receive a voucher could take some time to actually find a place that will accept it. People are given about 4 months to find a place but can ask for an extension. Others get lucky and are able to find a home more quickly. For people like Spencer, receiving a voucher can be life-changing for families.
Even though I had to wait a long time to be able to get it, it helped me become self-sufficient and helped me get to where I am today. And without it, I don't know where I would be.
Both organizations are working with landlords by offering incentives to get people into housing quicker. You can see if your family qualifies by going to our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Connect with a friend. Connect with a muse. Connect with nature. Connect with summer and find what it holds for you in the off-road ready Mazda CX-50. Uncover what lies ahead during Mazda's Season of Discovery sales event.
Discover nature's most unique adventures in a Mazda CX-50. Available for immediate delivery at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Coeur d'Alene Casino presents the Core Stars Entertainment Series. Join us as we celebrate our 30-year anniversary with an amazing lineup of the hottest entertainment. See comedian Jeff Foxworthy on Thursday, July 27th. Don't miss an evening with Night Ranger on Thursday, August 24th. Plus, join us for King of the Cage on Thursday, September 14th. For tickets, visit the casino box office or cdacasino.com. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and savor every bite. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Don't miss enjoying a moment with our on-site labs to help you fast and 20% off your denture care. So whether you need a new look or quick fix, you can celebrate with a smile all season, always at Aspen Dental. Book today.
This is the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Summer's here, y'all. I'm so ready. You are so ready. Give your day a little Kelly.
I'll be back on this show.
Oh, this feels so good.
I love my life. Big stars and good vibes. Puff it up. Get showered in summer. Let it rain, y'all.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Black and brown people also have the lowest rate of home ownership in the city of Spokane.
It's no secret that there is housing inequality across the U.S. In Washington, only 47% of Hispanics and 35% of Black or African Americans are home owners, compared to 68% of white homeowners.
Now, multiple local advocacy groups are taking matters into their own hands to address this issue. Our Allison Martinez has the story.
The tensions surrounding the housing crisis especially affect underserved communities in Spokane. This apartment complex right here is the latest effort by equitable housing advocate Chauncey Jones to help bridge that gap.
Black and brown people also have the lowest rate of home ownership in the city of Spokane, some of the lowest since the Fair Housing Act in 1968. Our rates are declining.
Jones is the executive director of Take Up the Cause, a nonprofit that merged with the East Central Community Organization to advocate for equitable housing access. Jones says his drive towards housing equity was born early on.
I grew up in not ideal circumstances, right? I lived in a motel room for 4.5 years, and I tell people it wasn't no sweet life of Zach and Cody either. It was the trenches, right? Grew up in public housing. We didn't have people advocating for us.
Take Up the Cause has focused its efforts on creating a portfolio of housing. Each property offers both housing and services to a unique demographic of people experiencing housing insecurity.
We're standing outside of Friendship Gardens. It's our senior living facility. 62 years and older to qualify. It's 100% subsidized.
The Resident Action Project has had a helping hand in lots of legislature, but strides are still being made towards critical bills like the rent stabilization bill.
It's important because without it, landlord can use rent increases just to discriminate and retaliate against tenants.
Equitable housing organizations like RAP approach advocacy by sharing their stories of housing injustice.
But you just got to speak from your heart, you know? Because it's your truth, and it's what's impacted you, and it's your voice, and that makes you powerful.
For information on Take Up the Cause's housing options and RAP's advocacy, you can contact the emails on your screen. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Hi, I'm Gabby Lemieux, inviting you to join me for the Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA at the beautiful Circling Raven Golf Club. The tour's mission is to prepare the world's best female professional golfers for a successful career in the LPGA.
Circling Raven Golf Club has once again been chosen to host this women's professional golf tournament August 21st through the 27th. More than 150 pros from over 30 countries will compete for shares of the $200,000 purse.
The Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA, brought to you by Circling Raven Golf Club and 4 News Now. I'll see you right here.
It's the biggest anniversary sale in the history of Walkers as they celebrate the opening of their first store in 1980 with the largest store-wide discounts ever offered, where you can get wall-to-wall savings for every room in your home, anywhere from 19 to 80% off, or take advantage of special 5 years no-interest financing.
This is the one sale our customers wait all year for.
And your chance to save like never before, including accessories and decor.
This week at Walkers.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
The factory-supported Summer RV Show, July 27th through 30th at the Spokane Fairgrounds. Beat the rush. Preview units. And get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake in North Spokane. Every RV at R&R RV is show priced now. Some units up to 50% off. Save thousands on remaining 2022 models. R&R RV is your RV superstore. Why wait? Get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake in North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com.
Weeknights, Carol Burnett reaches for the MeTV comedy stars. Mr. Alan Alda.
Poof, a star is born.
Mr. Andy Griffith.
I'm right here.
You like hillbillies?
Movie stars.
You all know him from Green Acres, Mr. Eddie Albert.
Wonderful. Now we're getting somewhere.
And very funny, Mr. Larry Hovis.
That's a good idea.
Let's Carol Burnett, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch MeTV's comedy stars over the air on KXLY 4.2.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Great Northwest Gathering Auto Show.
If you've lived in the inland Northwest for as little as 5 years, you've seen the changes.
It's a wildly different landscape than it was just a few years ago.
It's a race to get homes built, and it's not just us.
Missoula is having these problems.
There is progress on this front. Spokane is opening multifamily housing options in all neighborhoods. Accessory dwelling units, you may know them as mother-in-law suites, are also coming to the front of the conversation. Jim Frank, retired from a decades-long career of home building, says it's not as simple as allowing change. We have to nurture it.
And we need to have a regulatory framework that encourages that to happen.
And it's not just changing laws. A lot of it is changing minds. Habitat for Humanity CEO Michelle Gerardo says there's a stigma around what affordable housing looks like.
But we're not talking enough about what it could be.
An example, Habitat partnered with Greenstone to build Highland Village in Airway Heights, combining single-family Habitat homes with multifamily housing in a neighborhood that mirrors the River District in Liberty Lake, where you'll find townhomes, cottages, and multifamily stitched together in a way to make everything match. Frank says it should be about density, not zoning.
You don't need to fear that your housing prices are going down by creating an opportunity for someone else to own a house.
Our coverage of the housing crisis doesn't end here.
This problem is here to stay, and we are committed to telling the stories of those impacted most, both in our newscasts and on KXLY.com.
Download the 4 News Now app today. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.